May the 4th be with you. I had to start in a really cheesy way like that. I just could not help myself. So, welcome to Mind Forks Movie Night, Cinema Noir for tonight. And it's because the format's a little bit different. But I am so happy to be here on this lovely Sunday. I have been outside. My allergies are killing me, so my eyes look like crap. Is because of the pollen outside. I've been gardening, so I'm really excited about that. I have this big herb garden that I'm working on, and I'm working on a lot of cooking. Diane Boss, my sweetie, how are you, honey? Guess who we have backstage? Backstage is Benny. And hopefully this week, I don't know, for those of you that saw the show last week, we were just anxiously waiting for Curious George to join us, who didn't till about 10 minutes before the show was over. But that's okay because we love him and we are waiting for him. And I'm going to bring Ben here in a minute. And guess who's here? Puck Elf. Hi, honey. Hey, hey, good morning. That's right, because he is in Australia. So over there is morning. I've seen that you've had hugs to you too. I've seen that you've had a lot of lives lately. So so tonight I'm gonna bring Ben up here. Ben, Yorkshire, Gaffonian, Yorkshire. I do this every single week that he's on, and he's on with me all the time. He's kind of part of the team, and every single time I get it kind of messed up. So he is backstage. He is no, in a new trauma recovery program now and doing great. Okay, that's great. I'm so glad that you're doing good. At first, trauma recovery, I thought you were in trouble, but no, this is great. It's all about recovery and support. So tonight, here in a minute, I'm going to be bringing up Ben, and we're just going to be chatting. Actually, I'm going to bring him up now because this is how we roll. And Benny's
No,
so sweet. How you doing,
you did.
Ben?
You got the Yorkshire right.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Gaffonia. I said
Yeah.
Gaffonian.
Yeah.
Ben
You got the
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
But
Yorkshire. You
wasn't
got it
it
right. Right.
Gaffonian rock star? That's Samo.
No, that's
Yes,
Samuel.
that's Samo. I miss Samo. I wonder if he's doing okay. So Diane Boss is in the chat, and we have Puck Elf in the chat. And for you guys that are joining us, if you saw last week, what we did is we had a little pre-show. We were just kind of hanging out. It's a Sunday afternoon. What happens when you go to a show? You hang out in the lobby. Usually get a drink or, you just kind of hanging. So that is what we're doing here today. So we're hanging out in a little while at 6:30 in about an hour. I'm going to play. It rolls into, and that's something that's important for me to call out, that the movie tonight, there's a movie. So it's a second part of our movie night from last week. Let me pin this. Our movie night from last week. And so tonight's the second part. And what happens is that's a separate show that goes into a premiere. So that's going to be right after this. And I have pinned at the top of the chat the link to that one. So at the end of the show, in about an hour, we're going to migrate. And then if you guys get your snackies, get on the couch, get your jammy jams and your juicy juice because you get to watch a movie. And what did you think of the movie? A little too crazy? Did you watch it, Ben? Everybody got lost
I
on the
watched.
way out of chat.
I end up walking the dog after we finished, so I was listening to it on my phone. It was all
Yeah,
right. But
it's
she's still quite young, so she takes all of my attention most of the time.
she's so cute. She's asleep.
Yeah. It's 11:30 here, so I didn't
Is
want
she
to run
asleep?
around. Yeah. She's
We
six
want
months. She's
we want to see puppies.
Yeah, she's 6 months in about 2 weeks.
Oh my God, she is so adorable. Look who's in the chat. Cindy! Mwah, Cindy Lou Who. How are you, honey? Um, we are in part two of our pre-show. So we're waiting, we're hanging out. George is going to join us. We're going to watch some commercials. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about the movie. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with disclosure because it got really, really crazy. And, we might as well spend a little time, kind of going through that because I don't know about you, I can't keep up because now you have like a new whistleblower. Uh, she's doing great. Cindy. I used to talk to Cindy all the time. Now she moved. We're all like, I'm doing gardening and she's doing her thing. We talk every once in a while, but I love you so much, Fred. So good to see her. I hope the weather is nice up there. Oh my God. Guess who's backstage, Ben?
Oh. George.
He's here. Let's say hello to Georgie. George, are you ready? Do you want me to bring you up? Nod. I think he says yes. Goga! Goga's here! George!
Hey.
He's here! And look, it's Goga's on the chat. Mwah! I love Goga. He was a guest. He is fantastic. Yoga with Goga, you guys. You have to go check out that channel. I went by today. I was gardening. Sorry, George, I'm going to get back to you. I was gardening today, Goga. I went by, but I didn't say hi. But you were on like for 3 hours. So I wasn't able to chat, but I love you, man. George, my friend, George. How are you, honey? Can you hear me, George?
Yeah, I'm hearing doubles, so I don't know what's going on.
You probably have your YouTube screen on somewhere.
Yeah,
go kill that. Yeah, go kill that one. Love you. Yes, we're after this, Goga, in an hour, we're gonna have a movie premiere. So it's a wild movie. And it is the music. So basically, let me just set the stage while George, you're looking at your screen. I think you're trying to figure stuff out, right?
I think he is.
I think he is. Yes. Okay, so for people, if you didn't see the movie last week, the first part of the movie, it's a long movie. It's a black and white movie. It's from 1927, and it is called Metropolis. And the movie was basically destroyed. So it was found in like many, many pieces, and people did all kinds of, work to rebuild this movie and put it back together. And it's a German movie. It's 1927. It's about robots. It's about technology. It's about dystopian societies. It is about, the women being bred to serve the men, the men of high society not caring about, the underground, the people that make society work and, making the machinery and actually the city work. So last week we saw the first part of that. Today we're going to see the conclusion of that right after this. And I'm also included a couple of cartoons because that's really fun. I always have to include cartoons, and I have commercials today, and I have something special for George. If George, can you give me a beat? You didn't get that because you're not hearing me. It was really good reference to Janet Jackson. I thought, give me a beat, and he didn't get it. I'm not Janet Jackson. How are you doing, George? Want to say hello to peoples?
I'm
my
confused.
God. You can say hi. Bigfoot, Michigan
everybody.
Rob.
Hi, Diane and Cindy and Ben, of course.
Goga.
Yeah.
Benny. And Puck Elf is in the chat. And Bigfoot, Michigan Rob is in the house, you guys. And make sure that you join the Mateys.
I know Puck Elf.
At Bigfoot, Michigan Rob's channel. You know Rob. Oh, did you find your mic? Are you having microphone issues, honey?
Rob.
Well, he figures out his tech. I do want to say that you guys have to check out another channel that's awesome. Besides Yoga with Goga. Yeah, just sort yourself out. We got time. We got an entire hour. And this is like totally cash today. I want to talk a little bit about the state of disclosure because I want to know what you guys think. And I need to catch up because it's been absolutely crazy. It's like drinking from a fire hose. So Bigfoot Michigan Rob, join the mateys over at Bigfoot Michigan Rob's channel. BMR. ARG, mateys. That's my commercial for Rob. I'm not charging you, Rob. Free talent. That can't even be called talent. Okay, while George figures out his tech, I do have something special to say. Guess who had a birthday this week? Is that guy that's not speaking? The guy with the tech issues had a birthday this week, you guys. So I have to bring something for him. Hold on. Okay, so while he figures out his tech, here's a happy birthday message to Curious George. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Wow, I
And
feel
we're
so
back.
special. That was very nice. How did you
Happy
track down
birthday,
the
bro.
All for you, buddy. See, and
Oh,
when
thank
it's
you.
Ben's turn, Ben, I need to know when your birthday is because you wouldn't
March.
tell me. Like George and I were talking. When is it? Did I just
March.
miss it?
Yeah.
I
Amy
missed
knows.
it.
Amy knows. Amy knew.
Well, dang it! I'm gonna have to do next time. I'm gonna do a happy belated birthday for Benny because that sounds fun. So, are we on, George? You doing okay, buddy?
Yeah, well sorted out.
All sorted
Ready to
out.
party.
So, first of all, thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing your lovely birthday week with us. I know that you were a big fan of, you were one of the few people that I knew that knew this movie that we're playing tonight and knew the group Kraftwerk. So you're actually a fan of both. And you're very vocal on which scenes should go in certain places. Tell me what are your kind of thoughts on that movie and like, have you seen this group lately? Because they're still out there, correct? Kraftwerk?
Yeah, they're on tour right now. In fact, they were in my city just like last month, and I almost went actually.
Oh,
But like $200 was a bit too much.
was it really 200? I mean, how old? Because they were playing in the 60s. So are they like in their 80s now?
Oh, they must be pretty old.
Let me
Yeah.
see. I'm gonna look that up. Hold
I
on.
think his name is Florian or something.
Kraftwerk. I love Kraftwerk because especially now, okay, now
73.
I really listen to Autobahn and I am so loving it. They got like
You're fond
an
of the
earworm in
Autobahn?
my head. It finally got stuck in my head and I used it and I used numbers in this in tonight's version. So
Did you sing along with the English or the Spanish numbers?
Was it
Did
what
you
is
sing
that?
along with the English or the Spanish numbers?
I would think it was English, but yeah, I don't know what you can't understand what they're saying.
Numbers count in like Japanese, English, and Spanish. That's the lyrics.
I did not know that. This is why we need the expert on. Oh, are there original members? Here we go. Oh, Florian passed away in 2020. That's very recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Florian, the other original member.
He was
Ralph,
73 though.
yeah, Ralph Hutter still alive. It's a great. I have a picture of these guys. I love the fact that I totally believe that these guys were the inspiration for Blue Man Group. Like, look at that, and they've actually had robots in their, I don't know if these are robots, but they've had robots in their concerts. They've always been inspired, and even the art of like, I don't know if it was, maybe it
Yeah.
was a Man Machine, obviously is linked to that movie. That's straight inspiration of the movie.
Yeah.
Were
Definitely
you gonna
ties
say-
there.
Huh?
Definitely ties there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited tonight. We're gonna watch that, and we're gonna have there's 2 cartoons that are gonna be on with the movie. But one thing I wanted to kind of kick around for the next hour. Let's see if we have a little conversation, you guys. You guys are really into UFOs, and obviously this channel covers UFOs along with a lot of other, any topic that's interesting, strange, and unusual, kind of belongs in this channel. What do you guys? There's been so much in the last week from the guy that came out as behind Immaculate Constellation to them presenting wasn't in Congress. It wasn't really a hearing, was it? You guys want to let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so
Chad.
he was the one who wrote the document, Immaculate Conception document, which was submitted to Congress in the last public hearing. And
Mhm.
he's finally come out. His name's Matthew Brown. He used to work in intelligence as a contractor. And how it occurred is he found a slideshow presentation that was apparently misfiled on a classified system, and it just gave the name of like a war game, and he didn't expect it to be anything very interesting. But as he read through it, the second slide had a picture of Lou Elizondo and claimed that the code name Immaculate Constellation was a continuation of the ATIP, which Elizondo claims to have been the director of. So it then gave details, especially one particular slide which described an incident off the coast of Russia in the Pacific Ocean, where apparently a submarine was spying on a group of Russian boats, and a large black triangle suddenly appeared over these boats. So considered a UFO. But what was interesting is that the boats didn't seem to react. So the summary written in the slide, the intelligence assessment was that those boats were somehow expecting to see this UFO. So what does that mean? We're not sure.
Now, how about the famous, and I hate to call this out, and I'm going to call this out only because I saw Lou Elizondo in person. I saw his presentation. I understand when people make mistakes once, and that's okay. But to present a second picture, I mean that one was debunked. I'm gonna this is an open stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and let Puck Elf is gonna join us because he wants to say hi. I'm gonna go ahead and let him in. But I mean that picture has been debunked. Hi, Puck. This
Good
is
morning.
Sapphire Elf
Hello.
/ Puck
Hi,
Elf.
Percy. Hi, George. Hi, Ben.
Hey,
Hey, Puck.
It's so good
Hi,
to see
everyone in
everybody.
chat.
I knew you from Toddy Waba, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Remember Tony Waba? Yeah. We used to go to
Okay.
Alien Girl, Tony Waba. We go way back to like ufology, like UCR days. You remember UCR?
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago
Original.
now.
Oh my God, that was so fun. That's where I got really introduced to stuff like this. That from a show's perspective, obviously I was into the field before, but from watching shows, it was UFO Jane, UCR. Puck Elf was back, was in that crowd with us. So, but a lot has changed. So, anyway, what do you guys think about Here's my problem. If we have these officials that are going and are going to speak to this topic, and I don't have a problem, I never have had a problem, Lou Elizondo in them, but I do have an issue with presenting stuff that's just blatantly just, you don't, I have a job, right? If I have to do a presentation and I'm going to present a deck, I verify that deck so many times because there's going to be executives and they're going to ask me questions. So there's no way he doesn't know that that's picture's not real. Do you guys want to talk about this, or is it too hot to handle? Let me
If
know.
if you give false information, surely should have repercussions for that. Surely there should be some repercussions for giving false information out, unless it's been cleared to be given out. And most of the intelligence stuff, especially in the US, and most of that stuff, what they're saying, being cleared by the intelligence agencies.
So what is that? George, what are your thoughts on this? Yeah, I want to hear.
It's definitely bad for his look. I mean, he gets repeatedly criticized for things that he comes out with that end up being debunked, and it seems like it should elevate more importance to him if he cares about what he's trying to get across, that he not use anything that's so easily debunked. And I mean, and to be honest, to maybe like at least half of people, it was obviously not something floating. I mean, I didn't have that impression. Some people might have, but I mean, there's if you ask like 5 people, there'd at least be some doubt.
Well, I mean, if we have, there's been talk about them having all these videos and all this, all these pictures. Why take one that you just found out about? That's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't want to be put myself in that place. And with the topic being so important, you got to start thinking. I mean, once I get it, over eager, maybe, but this is a meeting that was planned. Why, after that event happened, why do it again? That's the only thing that doesn't make any sense to me. And I know that, I mean, I've always thought that Christopher Mellon really, really cares about the subject. Why do we put it at risk by showing a picture, unless you want it to look bad? That's the part that's like, we can play this game all day long, right? It's like,
yeah,
is it on purpose? Was it an accident? I don't.
Well, I don't think it was on purpose. I think he's like really enthusiastic and sort of does install himself. But also you have to consider the context that he used that picture. Now, I didn't watch the presentation in detail, but apparently he was trying to make some sort of point that, like, as he said in his, I guess, apology post as well, he was just trying to use that as an example of, like, people which have possibly anomalous pictures. They don't have any place to go. I guess that was his point. But, I mean, Arrow isn't opened up to the public yet as well. But if that was truly from a pilot, there is a place for pilots. What is it called? Is it New Fork or something like that?
Yeah. Is it the one that Ryan Graves? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, Ryan Graves has something new, yes, but traditionally there was another outlet for pilots to report things.
Well, there is for commercial. There is a way for commercial pilots to report all close calls. They all have to be. But in the UK, we have them for pilots, and I know in Europe we do, but we have a slightly different aviation laws over here to the US.
Nick Pope was the original guy that did it in the UK, wasn't he? That's Nick Pope, right?
Yeah.
There's New Fork. And
I haven't seen Nick Pope lately.
Oh, it's around. I keep seeing.
What did you say, George?
There's New Fork and there's NARCAP. NARCAP, National Aviation Reporting Center. I don't know. I'll have to read some more.
Here's the part that I don't understand. Why believe one and not the other? Like, Greer has a ton of guys, all of Greer's guys. There's a lot of guys have like these stories, and they actually have evidence, and they have paper, and they have, it's like, why? It's a weird selection of who do you believe, right? Pilots are worthy of being trusted. I mean, they do this for a living. They should know the difference between a satellite and an orb, or a planet and a satellite.
They don't always, but I expect that the number of false positives are much less with pilots since they are considered trained observers. But NORCAP is specifically for pilots, and that's been existing for quite a while.
Puck, how's the UFO scene in Australia lately? Still kind of, is it kind of died down, or is it, because ours was dying down and it's just sped right back up?
Yeah, about 2 hours up the coast from me. It's just been a UFO hotspot for the last 10 years, and it's been no dying down at all. That's off like Newcastle Headland Beach. If you go up there, you'll just see stuff over the ocean, like the Tic Tacs and everything. Like, I myself have only ever seen a triangle like a decade ago. I haven't seen any of these new things or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The other people that we had, I hadn't. What, George? Go ahead.
Just when you have a chance, I had a question for the I don't know, the panel.
I want you to, go ahead. This is free form, man. Go for it.
I'm wondering what your guys' opinion is on Immaculate Constellation. Do you believe it actually exists, or is it something that's being misidentified? Is it plants by the government as one theory?
It's a government program. I haven't heard too much about it. What's the one that Ross Coulthart's doing with the van people that's doing they're like pinging the aliens and stuff? That's not Immaculate Constellation, is it? That's some another stuff.
The Skywatch crew?
Yeah,
He's talking about the Skywatch, Jake Barber.
Immaculate Constellation's this other program that the government's running besides ASAP or something, right? That's the story.
So Immaculate Constellation is supposed to be an unacknowledged special access program designed to collect and analyze UFO data found on military assets, sensors, satellites.
Yeah, well, just based on the TLDR you just gave me, I'd say yes, because while they ran Blue Book, they ran another off the books one, didn't they? And if they're doing this ASAP one and telling Congress, they're going to have their off the book ones again. So I'd say, yep, sounds legit.
I see.
Yeah.
Did you have an opinion?
Well, I mean, it's like they talk about these documents, right? It's like, they start bringing, it's like, who brought the documents in? Does the information match? Again, it's just, there's something about it. I mean, how is it different from like MJ12 docs? It's like, hi, Hides. And Hides is in the house. May the fourth be with you too, my friend. I'm just trying to figure out why this particular document matters. Why does this one is more legit than so many other, pieces of proof that have been put out there that everybody kind of ignores? Why does this one? It feels legit to you, right, George?
Yeah, and I have a story about that later. But there's the evidence like this only came out in existence last year at that public hearing, and at the time, the evidence to present it was the testimony of the journalist Schellenberger, who said that he had a number of sources, more than two, who he vetted and checked out, and all of whom gave similar descriptions of the Immaculate Constellation. So mainly it's going by his word. Corbell and Coulthart also came out saying that their sources had mentioned such a program existing as well. So we have multiple, we don't know if some of the sources are the same, but there's at least, I think it was like 3+ independent sources. And another criticism of that, there is this theory, Mr. Greenstreet seems to promote this, that it's circular reporting. This was also claimed by the former Aero director, Sean Kirkpatrick. The idea being that there's like a rumor told to someone who then told it to someone else. And it was basically all circular reporting. There's nothing really original. It all started from one rumor. But Schellenberger specifically addressed this in his interview with Jesse Michaels, where Mr. Michaels asked, are any of these rumors related to Elizondo and all those other famous people? And he said, no, they're completely independent. They had nothing to do with it.
Interesting.
So I can also tell, I guess now I can tell you my story.
Yeah, I want to hear that part because you had kind of hinted at that earlier. I want to know what's going on there.
This is kind of mind blowing, but if you hang around UF people enough, I guess eventually you make networking and make some contacts. And it just so happens that I have a UFO Twitter friend that has their friend, which has very high level top secret access in the intelligence, US intelligence. And this intelligence friend of his came out just a matter of days ago saying that Immaculate Constellation is true, and he just wanted to talk to somebody about it. So my friend has like direct confirmation of this. This is not a public whistleblower at this point. This is just private conversations, which I have to find out about. So that's
And
really
these are
quite
people
amazing.
that you personally know.
Yeah,
These are people that you
his
basically trust.
friend. Well, like it all seems very organic to me. Like I can understand now how these journalists feel because well, obviously people are going to skeptical people are going to doubt this, but the way everything happened was very organic. I assume that my friend's friend, they've known each other for like quite a long time. Yeah, I can't see the reason why someone would just make up this story and reach out to an old buddy or something like that. And this guy, my actual friend, like it was just out of the blue. He had no reason for coming up with this. So, I mean, I think it's all very plausible. I mean, I think that these people definitely believe that they found something. And the greatest thing for me is I get to ask them all the skeptical questions. So I asked them, actually, I'll have to ask them, did it have anything to do with Elizondo? Is that just something that he spread? No. He's found like multiple videos and documentation and so on of UFOs. And he says, these are definitely UFOs. It's not something you could misinterpret in any way. It's like, it seems completely legit.
I'm not a skeptic when it comes to UFOs. I mean, I totally believe that this is a real phenomena. I believe that they've been hiding it forever. I believe this is part of what they're hiding. I totally buy into that. Nothing that has happened recently or one particular picture is going to deter me from that. But, but the question is, how is, I don't want to get too excited because it's like, this is what everybody says, right? Years and years of waiting for something to happen that doesn't happen. And it's like, it doesn't change what I believe in, but, is there really hope of disclosure here? I saw Stephen Bassett still talking about it. And
what is disclosure to you then?
Well, I don't think they're going to keep it a secret much longer. I don't think they can, in my opinion, because didn't Stephen Gray say when we went to the moon, we got told not to go back in one story? Yeah. Apparently, when we went the Apollo missions, right? So if we got told not to go back, but we are going back again now, and it's not just the US going, most of the world's going. So how could they keep it secret? So it's going to have to come out.
Here's where I get disappointed.
To you?
Oh, go ahead, George.
What is disclosure to you, though?
I don't know. I don't know what disclosure is.
Well, okay, there's different ways of looking at it. You could say that disclosure is happening now because we're having these public UFO hearings, and in fact, the next one is, I think it's May 12th, with Luna and so on. And we've had like Grush, and we've had other people coming out. And I'm told that more firsthand witnesses with like direct knowledge with top secret access are going to be coming out publicly this year. And there's also going to be some type of more physical direct evidence by 2027. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but my source seems pretty confident about that. So some people will say, as you do, like, I already believe, so whatever. And there's all these whistleblowers coming out, and I believe them, so that's fine. Other people, more skeptical, are just going to say, well, they're stories. Like, give me something scientific that I could examine with peer review, with a bunch of scientists saying, this is not man-made, or this is all this censored data. Like even Mick West can't pick it apart and debunk it. I'm looking forward to something like that. That would be disclosure to me. But at the same time, I don't discount stories. I think they're completely believable. And I can't think of any sort of theory that explains like how they're running across these videos. So I'm sort of in between, I guess.
Yeah, for me personally, disclosure, and I always remember Bryce Sable saying it was more about confirmation than disclosure. But to me, is more what I'm really interested in is in them admitting the lies. You know, making things like Roswell right. And they'll never be able to make it right, but at least admit that, hey, they lied. They lied. That to me, to disclosure is more disclosure of the lies, the deception, the web that's been, you know, but, and I think for a second, I think that it's going to get somewhere. But then I think about stories like the drones. Those drones were everywhere. People, I mean, these things were flying so close to them. And the story just went away. Oh, we got an update. But it's like, you know what I mean? If they can bury that, it was something, the stories didn't make any sense. But they can bury everything. They bury everything. Ben, tell me.
In the US, when all them drones were going off, did you ever hear about the Manchester airport UFO incident that happened at the same time?
I think so. Is that the one where the power went out as well?
No, that's Heathrow. Manchester is it's up north is Manchester. There was an orb around Silver Ball seen on the runway, and there's pictures of it. I can send, if you type in UFO Manchester Airport, it will come up. And that was only last year in November.
Okay.
I'm Googling that. Heights does have a question. Hi, Heights. Do we know who the witnesses will be at the next hearing? George, do you know?
They generally.
Oh, that blue thing.
Yeah.
The blue sphere. I remember now. Yeah. Remember the blue sphere that came out of nowhere, and it was like, that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
It was the same time. It was only November last year, and that was at the same time as all the drones, and we were getting the drones over here as well. They weren't just in the US, we were getting them over here.
That was the point. It wasn't in a single place, and it was all over, you know, the United States. And then people like Green Street was like, they're airplanes. Okay, again, you're talking like people are total idiots. That if I am in my backyard and there's an airplane that's at tree level, I think I know that that's not necessarily an airplane. That must be some kind of drone. We know there were drones, but whose drones? The story got buried. This story got buried. The spherical, you know, that blue sphere buried.
That one the one in Manchester, that Manchester airport. Manchester is quite a big airport for the UK. In fact, it's probably the second or third biggest airport in the UK. it's quite a busy airport, an international one, and it shut down the runway for quite a while. And it were pilots and,
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
it were
share.
pilots.
Hold on, let me share
It were the pilots that actually took the picture of it.
I thought it was like a maintenance
Yeah.
crew, somebody on the ground.
No, it was a TUI captain and first officer that took it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it
That one. I'm trying to share screen. Is it sharing? Yeah.
Well,
Remember
I am
that
reading
guy?
a story. Yeah. I am reading a story, but it says the Manchester Airport said they thought it wasn't genuine.
I mean, this thing dropped down. I remember when this happened, but again, it's like it gets the distraction. It got moved to something else. It's like, forget about this particular story. And did anybody, yeah, to your point, did anybody see this go all the way to, completion of an investigation?
we didn't even know about it on the news over here. It was barely spoken about. It was barely spoken about on our news, as far as I know. I didn't even see it on our news.
I'm seeing a lot of articles on it though online.
There is a lot.
So that was
on the main
debunked?
I'm sure McWest has an opinion, but I don't know the exact.
Well, again,
story.
Mick West has an opinion, and I don't want to always put Mick West as the example, although he is one of the loudest voices. And I mean, he's a great guy, whatever. But at the same time, I think he will always start on the edge of, he starts from an angle of it's not true. It is totally explainable, and that is his default position. I like to go to the middle and figure out from there whether it's real or not start at assumption of it is absolutely not real, prove it that it's, prove that it is real. I don't know. It just seems like there's always something, and it's very rushed to judgment. It was so good to see you. Say hi to Leslie, Cindy, have fun. Call me tomorrow. Call me. Okay, back to you guys.
The only thing I could find quickly was Manchester Airport dismissed it as possibly a balloon.
That was not. That just kills me.
That's just the go-to. It's just the go-to excuse, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. But Manchester
it hurts my heart.
It's a massive airport, and it's a very secure location. I just don't see how a balloon can go into almost on the runway and just disappear.
But it didn't even bounce, right? It went down. It hovered. I don't know what happened. Where did it go from there? I can't remember.
I know they had
did it shoot up
straight over it. Yeah.
Can you find a video?
Staff went over. I don't think there is a video.
No, because I don't think I remember seeing pictures. I don't remember seeing video, but I remember talking like the pilots were talking about it, right? And they were saying they saw it. They were like, we saw it. We took a picture. We tried to catch it because we didn't understand what we were seeing. I don't remember if there was a video or not. If you find one,
the problem is with airline pilots is that it's a checklist item to have their personal phones, electronic devices switched off, ready for takeoff. So they can't have them on in the cockpit at all. It's not allowed. And it's a checklist item. So generally, they wouldn't have the phones out. So to film it would be them losing the job as well.
Yeah, you're right. It was two pilots that took it, though.
It were two with captain.
So again, now you have two pilots that were there at the same time, saw the same event. They can vouch for it. To me, that's like, I mean, that's pretty compelling. That's where I don't understand how they pick one guy to be like the guy. Oh, this guy I trust, but all these other people I don't. Like Michael Herrera and all those guys from the Greer, from Greer's guys. I mean, they have a lot of them have just really, really cool, compelling stories. Okay, back to you, George. What'd you find, Georgie?
That was it. I mean, I don't have time to really read through everything.
Yeah, well, oh, come on. You're not AI. Just kidding.
Yeah, I can clone myself.
There we go.
My problem with all the Greer stuff and other people is that when they're saying the US has this technology, well, I don't believe that, because if the US had this technology, they wouldn't be able to. The Houthis in the Red Sea, they'd be able to finish and have done. They can't get rid of the Houthis, and that's just the Houthis in the Red Sea, and they're just drawing rings around the US after all the technology and military hardware they've got, and they're still evading them. They can't.
But who's to say that multiple countries probably have the exact same thing? What we've heard is, people saying that America, that these are our, our technology. That's not necessarily true. We can have, every country could have its own tech when it comes to this, and they're all hidden. And if one, just because America, somebody leaks it over from the United States doesn't mean we're the only ones.
There's a couple theories that could explain. That's a really good question, first of all. But there's a couple theories that claim to explain it. One is in the theory of military assets, is that you don't want to show your hand. I guess there's some kind of argument that way. And then I can't remember exactly any further about that argument. Maybe it makes sense or not. The second theory is that it's we say, well, if the U.S. had this technology, we'd be ruling the world by now. But
yeah.
But the other claim is it's not. It's like a cabal. This majestic cabal, whatever they are, is beyond. It's not just U.S. It's like an international. You could consider it an international group, and they're using it to get themselves rich, and they're not really part or loyal to any particular country. So there's not really a military use being directed by U.S. government.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing's illegal anyway. The parts, the aspects of this group that are American-based are just stealing black funds from the government and just using it.
Yeah. Plug Elf, I'm also a Lazar believer. That's Lazar, that's a totally different show. That's a whole story within itself, because I know that some people are like, oh, he's been vindicated based on all this stuff. Well, I don't see an exact link, that explains a lot of the Lazar story. But
I think that brings up a good point to me. That brings up a point to me, though, that with all these witnesses coming out, I mean, I think they do vary in terms of credibility. I mean, it may be true, but their credibility is not such that it would convince the average person, even if they are right. So someone like Grush was very good because he was pretty much impeccable. Who knows what people will think of this Brown guy? And then, maybe some other people are like Angeli is probably less credible.
Yeah.
Although she seems to be a very nice person.
Yeah. By the way, she's a very nice person. I met her in person, very kind. I just don't understand the story very well. But, I mean, I believe she believes this very much. So, Puck Elf, I just have to bring this up because I've met Travis Walton too. And I talked to him, in a very humble guy, by the way. That guy was just humility, very, very sweet, very down to earth. And there's something about him that I totally and completely believe. Have you guys ever met Travis at any of the conferences? Have you been? He is awesome. He is so awesome. He just sits there and it's like he's just recalling everything. It's just very, I don't know how to say it. I believe him. I 100% believe him. I mean, there's a lot of people in this space that I 100% believe their story. That doesn't mean that it's easy to explain.
Well, I mean, people can seem believable, but you can still be fooled. And unfortunately, I have personal experience with this. So once you learn, you don't trust so easily. Yeah,
I mean, when it comes to this space, it's hard. Things come up every day, but it's, there's some vibes that you get from people. I mean, there's
You can tell. Just a sixth sense. You can tell whether they're telling. In fact, there's certain other ways of telling you if you're lying. You can tell in certain.
Well,
I mean, I'm not a
ways.
human. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, like people will say that they can rely on their intuition, but then you have the people who, I see these comments all the time on like a YouTube video, like whoever the latest whistleblower is, someone will comment like, "Oh, I can tell he's lying." So, I mean, what about their intuition? They believe it
That's
just
true.
as much as people that believe.
That is a very good point. Because, yeah, that's a very good point. All that intuition it gives you a sense of, whether somebody's believable or not. But that's a great way to put it. Because I would not want to be judged, by just an impression. Call me a liar because, I can feel it. You're lying. So you're right. It's quid pro quo, Georgie.
But I don't think we have to rely on any single person, because if you want to hedge your bets, you like base your beliefs on multiple people and their commonalities of what they come out with. So something like Immaculate Constellation, according to my research, and if I trust Schellenberger, which to me seems like a very methodical, conscientious and honest person, and if he tells me that he's vetted several of his sources and they're all saying similar things, and he only publishes things that he's thoroughly vetted, then I believe he's doing a good job. So I base what I believe on the capabilities and methodology of the person and their assessments, and I can also combine that with my own personal impressions of people as well. So, I mean, that would be one of the higher confidence levels.
I haven't been your friend for a while, and you talk to me on Twitter all the time, and you tell me, you share something that's happening, and you share your opinion, but you always do it with, I believe this is so because this, and that, not because of a feeling. So, I mean, I've always trusted that you do a lot of research, and you really do stay in tune with this subject. So, I mean, I know you vet your stuff.
Yeah, but I try to be neutral. That's why nobody's blocked me on Twitter. I don't get in fights with people.
I don't either. I don't get blocked.
I'm not a skeptic. I'm not an experiencer. I'm not like a true believer. I'm just someone that's like literally I'm curious, and I'm equally interested in all sides of the story. It's all interesting to me. I wouldn't discount anybody for their story as much as listening to somebody's life experiences. I mean, if you're a good listener, you treat people with respect and you give them empathy and you give credence to the things that they're saying. Like, how can you do anything less? I'm not going to attack people, but at the same time, I have a scientific background. I can hold these two things in my mind at the same time, and it doesn't bother me. I don't have to be like, well, either there's strict scientific evidence or it's just a story. Like, I can see as like a whole situation that's in flux, and just respect all sides.
I think it's a respect piece that's so missing, and I look at Twitter again. It's just X, but at the same time, it's like, oh yeah. There's no respect, no understanding, no just, hey, let people, just because you don't believe them doesn't mean, you have to just call them a liar. It gets so personal and so emotional. It's nuts. Hold on. Moon,
it's
where
polarizing.
are you, Moon? Good to see you. Exactly. But it is meant to be. It is meant to keep people arguing with each other, in which nets zero. It's a zero. There's no progress if people are playing tug of war about certain things. And maybe these are distractions. I do believe that they throw so many distractions at us to keep us fighting. So which one's a distraction and which one's the real deal that we're supposed to be arguing over? What do you think, Benny?
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, I can totally see that as being
exactly
like a info tactic.
Yeah, I think they've divided the UFO. They've divided the UFO community so much. How can we come together and actually get something done? If we came together as a community, we'd get more done, and I think we'd be able to get somewhere. But the fractured is so
But
much.
they don't want
divided
us doing that. They don't want us doing that because there's no control in that, right?
Yep.
You become, sovereign. You become your own, to a certain extent, freedom. They don't want us to discover our power. They don't want us to, they want us to just follow a line and just be herded. That's depressing. I'm going to play a commercial to spike us up. George, think about the next topic real quick because we got 15 minutes before the movie and you guys have to pop over to see the movie. And in the chat, at the top of the chat is the link to the movie premiere that will be at 6:30 today. I'm going to come up. I put some commercials together because, hey, you had to have a little bit of fun, right? We're having fun talking about UFOs. I really hadn't talked about UFOs all week. It's been crazy. That used to be like my daily thing, and it hasn't been lately. Oh, check out this commercial. Okay, so these have nothing to do with the movie. My channel is called Mindfork, so you should expect weird stuff. So that's where these are coming from. I am weird, and I like these because they're weird, and it's my show, so I'm going to play them. Here we go. Smile. You gotta smile. They're so cute. I think it's a grocery store. I don't know. But these foreign commercials are so funny. Wasn't that adorable? What do you think, Georgie? Georgie's not amused.
Well, have you heard of this loop artist called The Kiffness? That's what it reminds me of. He takes sample loops, even animal sounds, and tries to make music out of them.
I like that. Those foreign commercials don't seem to have very many boundaries. No, I'm trying to find.
I've actually seen compilations of foreign commercials at the theater.
Aren't they great?
Winning from around the world. Yeah, they were great.
I love. Check this one out. This is good.
コンソメパンチポンチじゃないよコンソメパンチうまさが効いてるコンソメパンチコンソメパンチコンソメパンチパンチで元気コンソメパンチ
So good. I want those chips. What do you think, Ben? I think they're chips.
Where did you get them from?
I'm just finding them. Dude, it gets better. Hold on. I got one. I don't even know this one's real, but it's so funny I had to share. Check this one out. This is warming us up for the movie. I gotta get us back in the mood for the show. Here we go.
Children have been asking us to make dolls with real growing hair for years now. The only problem is the current technology doesn't allow for that, so we've turned to the next best thing. A voodoo witch doctor named Captain Oogie who can transfer human souls into plastic dolls to give them lifelike characteristics. You can even modify the amount of humanity within the doll using our patented soul knob. Just be aware that these are technically human children and should not be subjected to normal doll treatment for ethical reasons.
Beautiful Chrissy and new velvet. They're ideal.
Oh,
Captain Hoogie.
do you? That reminds me of the. That reminds me of that doll. Was it the Twilight Zone or one of those ones? There was like these dolls that came to life.
There's the Chucky doll.
It sounds like you're going to get an extra.
There's Chucky.
You're going to get an
Chucky.
extra.
I mean, Chucky the murderer.
Is it Annabelle? Annabelle, is that the other one?
Annabelle.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you talking about Annabelle the murdering doll?
Yeah.
It was The Conjuring, right? Or no, Annabelle had her own movies. Annabelle had her own series. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
no, Living.
Oh,
It was an episode of the Twilight Zone. It was actually called Living Doll. That was
Ooh.
one of them.
Oh my God.
if
I
you're
love
into
Twilight Zone. I would
sci-fi,
love to do a Twilight Zone. I would love to do like a Zoom night and like pick a couple of really good Twilight Zone episodes that we can actually air and do it on Zoom because you can't do it on YouTube. Okay, 10 minutes before and one more commercial because this cracked me up because this is like a totally different type of fashion show. Check this one out. This is our last commercial before we got
What happens in diapers should stay in diapers. New Love's Ultra Leak Guards with heavy-duty blowout protection. Outstanding protection for your little heavy-duty champs.
Oh man.
that blow. I got a 10. I'm cracking myself up here. I'm sorry. I am completely immature. Back to you. You guys talk. Oh my God. Sweetly Morbid Bear. Hi, honey. So good to see you. So didn't you love those? Those were so fun. You didn't like those? You guys aren't laughing. I'm the only one laughing.
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Yeah.
Some people are like, this is disturbing instead of funny. I thought it's funny. Oh yeah, Moon at Noon. Scarier. That's more scary than funny, says Moon. I love some of these names. They're sweet. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
Sleeping
the original
with Bear.
Meow Mix commercial?
Oh my God.
Do you remember the original?
I'm coughing
Meow Mix?
because I remember the Meow Mix. I had one ready, like queued up one day for one of these things because they were hilarious.
Commercial with it was the commercial with they had a cat singing a song, a Meow Mix song.
Meow, 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 meow. The Meow Meow Mix
Yeah.
song?
And that was referred to also in that comedy one that's kind of like James Bond.
It wasn't
what is
the
that movie?
what the
I
Kleenex
don't know.
commercial in Japan or China that were meant to be cursed or something that they had to remove, it's banned. I'm sure there was one over there that were banned.
I've heard of some commercials being totally cursed. So I'm like, but there's, I don't know. Anyway, okay, 9 minutes till the movie, you guys. We're going to start migrating. So on YouTube, if you are on YouTube, you can see at the top of the chat, there is pinned is the link to the premiere of Metropolis featuring Kraftwerk. So, Curious George, I hope you like my choices for this half of the movie on songs. I found some stuff that I didn't even know existed by Kraftwerk.
Chris, I've just sent you a Kleenex advert on the private chat. This is the cursed one from Japan.
Ooh. I'm not gonna play that for everybody's like the ring. You are signing into my fork. I'm sending you down the ring, and we're all gonna. No, I'm not gonna play it. And what if it's real?
Well, I've seen it, so I'm fine. So you know.
Okay, well you're not then. Good. When did you see it? A week ago.
I saw it on top 10. It was a while ago. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay, so you're fine. Okay, I will watch it. I'm not gonna play it here, but I'm definitely I do want to like click on it and store it just so I have it. There we go.
Have you seen Austin Powers?
I love Austin Powers.
That was bugging me, so I had to look it up, but they were sitting around the table and they did a spoof with the Meal Mix song. Austin Powers did. Do you remember that scene?
Oh, wait. In which, because there's three.
It was like
actually might be.
Meow, 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 meow.
It wasn't meow, 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 meow. I know. I'm going to have to pull that up, Mel, because I was obsessed. I was like, shoe. I have a whole bag of shoe with your name on it. That's awesome. That's like the first Austin Powers. Remember the bag of shoe? Shh.
Yeah.
Shh.
Oh, yeah,
a whole bag of shoe with your name on it. That's like one of the best lines. So, okay, so we got comments. Oh, Puck Elf. Puck Elf is disturbed by cats. Moon. See you all soon. Yes. So, okay, so 5 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up because in 5 minutes, we're going to start the premiere. So, but before we do that, George and Ben, tell me what you guys are going to be doing. Let's start with you, Georgie.
What am I going to be doing?
What are you up to this week? Anything exciting that you're looking into? Are you going to be on any shows?
Yes.
We usually say this. We just make up all kinds of stuff.
I have a busy week. I have a Python course I have to write. I have to pass, and I have a 3D printer set up, and I have 4 hours of piano lessons I have to do. So I'm pretty busy, and I have to work out in between all that.
Python and piano lessons and working out. Me like it. I never learned Python.
Python piano would
Python kills me. Yeah, there we go. You know, it's Python. I still have like in a lot of my workflows, people like always writing freaking Python scripts, and I'm like, don't do that, because that's like the one coding that I just don't. I just have. It's like kryptonite. But so you had a great birthday though, right? Did you do anything fun besides eat Thai food? Mm-hmm.
Not that day, but I'm having fun now. So there we go.
There we go. There we go. And Benny, what are you up to this week? And what's the topic in Benny's plate?
Not doing much this week. I've got some gardening to do myself this week, and when it gets better weather, but nothing much this week.
I want to see some more drone videos. We talked about when I don't know if you were here for that one. We were talking about his drone videos. It'll be great for like meditation loops. We're gonna start doing some stuff with Benny.
And I've got some more
still
to do.
There's some great scenes where you're at. What'd you say?
I've been reading there's still drones going on.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Oh, is there? Didn't go away. Okay. Well, we are going to wrap it up because the movie is going to start in a few minutes. Please feel free to join us. Migrate over. Let me just go to the movie itself. Let me go to the movie. I want to make sure people migrate because last time I didn't do that well at all last week. I was running out of time. I wasn't ready to do like a premiere at the same time as a live show. But I want to make sure that if people migrate properly, so I'm going to go look for the link. Here we go. Share, copy, and come to.
Thanks, Gogo.
Oh, hold on. Huh?
I said thanks, Gogo.
To the moon. Goga's so great.
Oh.
Goga's such a sweetie. So, okay, well,
Lady.
I am going to sign us off, and I'll see you guys later. I'm going to sign us completely off because I'm going to go make dinner while the movie is running. So you guys go migrate over there. Okay. I love
See you
you
later.
guys. Thank you so much for being here. Chat, you
No
guys,
problem.
thank you so much. Moon, Sweet Morbid, Diane Boss. We had the Bud Files and Puck Elf. Thank you so much for coming up with us. Anytime, buddy. I'm so glad you're doing well. It's good to see you. And again, thank you. Oh, and Cindy, who was here, and Heights, who was here. Thank you guys so much for being here. And BMR and Goga, love you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and sign us off, and I'll see you at the movie.
See you later.
Here we go. Bye, everybody. Here comes the movie.